Well, man, Trey, I got to start here. People see you making music, moving crowds, like doing all kinds of good stuff in the hip hop game. But take me back to Three Rivers. What's the rawest memory you have of growing up there and coming up there that's kind of helped shape the man that you are today?
Um, I'll go probably back to when Riverside. Riverside is like a little apartment complex where I'm from. So like I grew up the normal kid living, running around, seeing stuff, you know what I mean, experimenting and just, the unity that was there. And then like later on in my life I ended up coming back there and just doing the same thing. So kind of like the rawest memory, just the fun that I had in Riverside and how much the complex mean to me.
Yeah, is that complex still there?
Yep, it's still there.
That's crazy. Like a lot of apartment complexes all over where they're more in challenging areas at times. Um, you come back and it's like townhomes now, or
Yeah.
something crazy.
Yeah, we've been there for years.
But what was the first moment where you're like, shit, I can rap, I can do this?
I think it probably was when I was like 9 or 10 or something playing basketball, just going to the court rapping by myself, just rapping in my head. I was like, a real big 50 Cent fan. So I'm listening to Give It Should Die Trying on my little CD player and I turn it off and, try to make my own little stuff like that. But I never told nobody or nothing.
You got kids, right?
Yep.
What would your kids say? You're like, man, I had my CD player in.
Oh man, he probably laughed at me. They make me feel like I'm super old or something like now how they are.
Yeah. The kids are like that, man. Like mine are like that all the time. I'm like, man, and the crazy thing is, me and my wife, I'm like, do they not realize like we were cool? We were cool as shit, right? Like we were the clubbers. We were the
Yeah,
ones going out, like turning up, like we're splashing stacks everywhere.
yeah.
Like my kid, like, what do you think I was? Like I wasn't a librarian,
Yeah,
bro.
I wasn't no lame. Nah, I don't even think they understand. Like I used to record on tapes. I used to record the radio on the tape. You had to press the two buttons, and
Hmm.
I used to put it in my mama's car just so I could listen to whatever song that came up.
Growing up in Three Rivers, did you ever think that music was going to be like kind of your way out, or did you think it was just a dream?
Probably, I just thought I was really focused on basketball, and then when the opportunity me got to rap, that's completely why I just changed it. I didn't go back to basketball no more. I didn't care for it. I just went straight to that. So yeah, I'll probably say I seen it at that time when I got that opportunity. I felt like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. But I didn't know, what did it entail. I didn't know these ups and downs throughout the shit. I thought it was just like, you watch videos, chains and
Right.
they hear you rap, people gonna fuck with your shit, but I ain't know it was like, the shit you gotta go through.
All right, so high school, man. I know you was into basketball, but I also read in your story that you didn't finish high school. You got a GED, and I think maybe you just went like freshman year. Is that right?
Yep, I went to 3 different schools freshman year. I was in Ohio, and I went to Kalamazoo, and I went to 2 schools in Kalamazoo, and then by the time I ended up having to go back to Ohio, and I ended up running away, and I came to Michigan. But when they was gonna put me in high school, I'm supposed to be like in 11th grade here, and this is my hometown. So I'm like, hell no, I'm probably gonna be in ninth because of the me moving around my credits or whatever. So I just went to the little GED school and spent like 6 months or something like that in there and got my GED at 16.
Yeah. Do you ever look back and wish you would have, maybe had a better high school experience and stayed in so that you could play ball and things
Fucking
like
right.
that?
I think about that shit all the time because when I'm watching my kids and they get to do the stuff, I just be like, man, go through it. Have fun. Like I ain't never go to prom. I still want to do that shit. You know what I mean? Like so, in a way, I look back at it like, man, I wish I did it, but then after looking at my life now, like man, I probably wouldn't have did it no other way because what I went through, what made me who I am.
Well, I mean, that's really a big part of your fiber now, and you're right. Like the troubles, the pains, the mistakes, the challenges that we make as young men,
Yeah,
man, that shapes who we are,
yeah,
today. And I'm the same way, man. A lot of mistakes, and I wouldn't change most of them for the world, because they all mold us into what we eventually be.
yeah. You got to go through the lessons. You got to fail. I feel like if you fail, that's where you get. That's when you learn. And if you don't attempting, then you already failed. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel. So I feel like the like you just said, that's what makes you for real. Every bump and bruise, every spin off, any shit like that.
I think there's a lot more bumps and bruises along your way, man. During that period, and I'm really just intrigued with has made you the way that you are today with your songs and your music. And there's a big part that seems like it's left out with mom and dad. Like, what was going on with your parents at the time that you had to transfer schools back and forth, and that ultimately led you to running away from home?
Well, my mom at the time, I moved with my dad when I was like 13. My mom ended up moving to Louisiana. So I didn't want, it was my time to live with my dad or whatever at the time. So I moved to Ohio and I got with him, and me and his relationship, we was bumping heads because, I kind of had it easy with my mom. My mom was working a lot. I was outside freely a lot, stuff like that. So when I got with him, I think he was trying to like mold me, stay on my ass, get good grades, go to school. I was skipping school and shit a lot. But when I was with my mom, and it wasn't her fault or anything, it was just me just doing dumb shit. Just didn't give a fuck. Wanted to go smoke Black and Miles and dumb shit like that. But um, I feel like they never had a relationship.
Hmm.
So their relationship was cool. It was just, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of the situations was me. So my mama kept moving and then my dad just stayed in Ohio. He had a tattoo shop he owned a tattoo shop in Ohio. So when my mom ended up coming to Ohio for a little while and then she's like, "You want to leave with me?" And that's when we ended up going back to Michigan to Kalamazoo. But then she ended up getting back with my younger brother's dad and then they ended up going to Arizona. And I was like, I ain't going to Arizona because I was back in Michigan. So I had to go back to Ohio. But then at that time, I was just like me and my dad. We kind of like we good and we're not.
Yeah.
We're great and then we're not. You know what I'm saying? And in ways like that. So that's probably when I was just like rebellious. Like fuck it. I told my partner. He was like 20. We went and grabbed some smoke. Grabbed his car. I'm surprised how this goddamn car even made it. But we rolled down there. I was like, bro, it's like a 3 hour trip. I'm like, we come right back. I was planning to come back. I was just wanting to go down there. So, but when he was like, man, we ready? We finna go? I was like, nah. And I just stayed there. And then my dad, he was pissed off and I knew he wasn't gonna come back. Like he already knew I was probably, gonna hide out in Michigan. He probably wasn't gonna try to, look for me out there. But and my mom, she was gone. She worried, but I'm doing this shit on my own. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody making me do this shit. I'm choosing to do this shit because I felt like I can do it. Like let me go try to live on my own. Even though this shit,
How old were you at that time?
I was like 15.
15.
Yeah,
And you thought to yourself,
15.
man, like, I'm ready to go, just be on my
Yeah,
own.
man, cause I've been around so much young. Like when I was in Ohio and I did the shows with like Tech N9ne and Paul Wall, and then when I was starting music with my dude Mars out of Chicago, and then being around my pops at the time in Ohio, it was a lot of shit that I was exposed to. That if I look at it now, I got two 13-year-olds, so I look at it now like, fuck, I would never do that. You know what I mean? But I thought the shit was cool.
Right.
I didn't think it wasn't. I didn't think it was fun. I'm looking at the shows, girls, and seeing how this shit is on. I thought it was cool. So I thought I was like, fuck it, take me back to Michigan and let me get my own life together. Like, let me go live. Cause I had this rap shit so fucked up in my head at the time. I just felt like I was, bigger than what I was. And I really was, a peewee at the time.
Yeah. Now, at that time when you were kind of just getting in, and at that point, I wouldn't say, maybe it's a misconception, maybe it's not. I mean, there's a lot of hip hop that's different. I feel like it's changing every day, but there's some things that are always associated with hip hop, right?
Yeah,
Violence, guns, dope, you know,
for sure.
drinking. I mean, that's what the hip hop is.
Yeah.
Or at least that's,
That's what it's
what the
based,
perception is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So growing up that time, was there any of that stuff going on in there? I mean, were
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
into?
As soon as I got down there, I talked to my mom and my dad, and they was like, as long as you get your GED or whatever, I was supposed to stay with my auntie, and she wanted me to be there kind of early, in the weekdays and weeknights and stuff like that. And I wasn't going for that. So I just stayed out, girls' house to house, cousins' houses, started selling weed, picked up on, trying to, I was going to school with the weed in my pants and everything, trying to hide it from the teacher, because it's in my pants and stuff like that. So that's where I was just, but that's where I was starting to trying to find my way. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I got to get out here and make some money. I'm like, I can't get no job. I mean, I could, but I ain't had my parents there for real. I was young at the time, and I ain't care about that shit. I was in the streets. I knew everybody in the streets. I'm promoting music. Everybody know me. I'm having fun. I'm out here, fucking grown hoes, doing all type of shit. So it didn't matter to me. I thought it was like, shit, this what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be, And then the music I listened to, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like everything I listened to, it was, real heavy trap around that time.
All right, man. So if you're looking at maybe somebody else that grew up in a completely different culture, maybe like some rich kid from the suburbs, compared to what your youth experience was like, what would be like probably the most incredible thing to them that to you is absolutely normal, but if it happened in their neighborhood would just be absolutely wild?
But probably a regular day on the block or a regular day in whatever in our complexes we hang out with, people wilding out, drinking, guns, talking shit, crackheads doing shit, clucks doing shit, like, regular shit for us that we'll laugh at every day, day to day. Probably because I done seen people that come from, something like that. And this is cool. You guys, like, you smoke weed here. And it's like,
Right.
stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? It'd be like, this regular as fuck though.
Yeah. Did you ever get jammed up as a youth, man, with cops?
Yeah. I had an assault charge before, got into it with a homie of mine before we had, a little dumb shit like that, but I came out there with a knife. And I got a little weed charge. Yeah, it was like a raid that was going on, and
Mm.
my dude was like on parole or something like that. And I was coming out, and I was trying to find a little sack of weed. I was just crazy. I was just telling them this story. I had the weed in my jacket, and I'm checking there. Well, as soon as I put my jacket on, the bitch right there. We come out, police got guns on us and fucking vests and shit. They woo woo search us real quick, find a little weed. I give them a fake name. The shit come bite me in my ass later on after I got like DUI.
Hmm.
Got a little DUI charge, and they came and put two of my two mug shots up. I had the same sweater on. Two different names and shit.
You
So
wore the same sweater?
I had gray sweaters. I don't know why every time I got arrested, I had a gray sweater on. That shit crazy.
Man, it's always the small things that take
Yeah.
people down, man, when they got something going on, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's not like they did some crazy investigation. Your dumbass wore the same sweater.
yeah. And the picture was the same. My hair was the same and everything. That shit was crazy.
So what was was there a point that you can remember, like, very specifically, where you decided to like quit doing all the dumb shit and start focusing
Oh,
and getting
okay,
yourself
yeah.
right?
I think probably when I got to like 25, 26 or something like that, that's when I really took it serious. I just started really locking in. I just woke up one day, I was just like, man, I'm tired of being drunk. I don't want nobody to look at me like that. I don't want my relationships with people to be me wilding out drunk, saying dumb shit because I'm drunk all the time, or doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, just drugged out, hanging with the guys and getting caught into some shit that I don't really need to be even, I want to go home, I want to go with my kids. I don't want to be into no dumb shit. But the shit I was doing was going to, lead me to that way.
Was there something that happened that made you wake up that next morning, or was it just out of the blue?
No, I really was just like a talk, like a talk with myself. I really ain't nothing really never, it's always me. I know better. It's just what I choose to do. So I sit back and I just sit and talk to myself and be like, all right, is you gonna keep being this? Is this how you gonna be remembered? This is how you gonna, let your kids look at you? You know what I'm saying? I had one time, I think about it all the time. I couldn't move. I was drinking lean and I couldn't move. And I was like, shit. And I had my son right over there. But I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Just thinking about that time, if I couldn't grab him or something happened, what if he hit his head or something and I couldn't get the fuck off the couch because I was so stuck off the drink? I'll just be thinking about that shit like, man, you was fucked up for, even moving like that. So ain't really a time. It's just really me just talking to myself. I got to get through it myself because I don't really feel like nobody can really tell me anything because your life is your life.
Right.
I got to go through my life the way I got to go through it. But I feel like everybody needs to talk to themselves when they're having these problems. Because sometimes you feel like you can get it to somebody, but does it really help you? Because what, just like with, coming over addiction, it starts with you first. I can't really talk to you and be like, all right, bitch, I'm finna stop because Ty told me,
Yeah. It just doesn't work like that.
No,
Like
no.
you have to be ready yourself before you'll be able to listen to anybody else,
Yeah.
and usually it just makes you want to push in and dig in a little bit deeper when somebody's trying to tell you what to do and you don't agree,
Yeah.
So at that point you make this shift in your mind that you're going to get serious, you're going to start turning things around, get rid of the dumb shit,
Yeah.
which is going to allow you to focus on music. I would guess maybe like financially and what you had going on in your life. Like, how were you? Were you flush? Were you broke? Like, where were you at financially with there?
Nah, I was going through it. I was broke, going ups and downs, getting jobs, losing jobs, dealing with stuff, just trying to get it together, trying to understand it. So I would say just working. But I sell merch, I cut hair, I go to work, I make sure I'm monetized on all my platforms. So I sell my music. I always sold CDs and stuff like that. I always had like a hustle about me, but I wasn't super flush. You know what I'm saying with cash. So, but as I got older, being smarter with money, shit changed.
Yeah. So, what do you think the hardest thing for you being in Three Rivers, trying to focus on music? What was the hardest thing that you had to push through? Being there, and you think maybe it was because you were there instead of somewhere else.
I mean, probably just this whole music thing, pushing through it, through being there and not understanding and not having the lack of people around you too, even like your older homies and stuff. Like they didn't tell me go get a job, like my OGs, like the older heads did. But they didn't. There's no resources where I'm at. It ain't no label. It ain't no A&R. It ain't nobody to tell you how to go about it. So my hardest push through it probably just was really pushing my music out there. Cause yeah, I got the town. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I want the world. You know what I mean? I can't stop. So I'm thinking about it every day. But I think it probably just the music for me, just pushing that shit, getting that shit out where it is. Like I'm proud of myself now, for real.
So you started, hip hop at a pretty young age, right?
Yeah, 13.
And I'd imagine like people see potential, in others. Do you have any like specific experiences where somebody was like trying to take advantage of you because they thought, man, this kid's gonna blow up? Like,
Uh, I think probably. I think people have motives, but I don't like it. Never like I always knew my shit. Like my dad always would like, you do it yourself. You learn it. He always just like installed it in me. And I'm a thinker, and I'm a observer, and I like to study whatever I'm into. So I studied the hip hop, and I studied I was really lacking on business.
yeah.
I was in love with the art more than the business. Now I'm more in love with the business. I'm still in love with the art, but I'm more in love with the business side of it.
So I know, I mean, I've interviewed and I'm friends with tons of people that are, famous, whether it be a comedian or a singer or an athlete or something else. And one of the common things that I see oftentimes is they don't always think about themselves as an entrepreneur. They said, "Well, I'm an actor." Yeah, but you're an entrepreneur because like you have to have this entire business, right?
Yeah,
Do you view yourself as an entrepreneur?
yeah. I feel like me studying 50 Cent and watching him like the G Unit t-shirts, the G Unit chains, the G Unit shoes, that shit made me want my own every time. So I'm like, man, wait till I do it. When I put my brand out there and I think everything is you have to move as a business because your brand is the business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't focus on the brand and know your name, what are people gonna know you for? I bring it like a ACDC shirt. That shirt's gonna sell regardless. It's people that don't never even heard of ACDC record, but they putting it on. But the
Right.
brand is so big. So you gotta you gotta move as a business, man. I feel like if a lot of artists don't understand that, I think they need to start understanding more of the business side of it and investing in the right shit instead of jumping out here thinking that this shit gonna work with just me doing this and doing that or whatever.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that makes it really tough because oftentimes when you have, artists or other people that are coming from the type of neighborhoods that we grew up in, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm a city kid too, right? You don't have that financial literacy, and that was the biggest challenge for me in business when I started. I was a hustler.
yeah,
I knew how to hustle. Give me $1, I'll bring you back 100 at the end of the week, right?
yeah.
But I didn't really understand business and I had no financial literacy. And that's what held me back for so long, right? Like, is there a solution in our society, or is there like, if let's make you president for a day,
Okay.
you're president for a day, how would you fix the fact that we have so many youth coming out of communities and poverty and places like you and I came from that don't receive any financial literacy? Like,
I
something crazy. You can like give me like an Elon Musk type answer here.
uh I would I would put I didn't fuck because I don't even like how they do school now. But I
I'm
would
I'm with you.
yeah, I don't like how they do school now. But I feel like if they went back to the old ways of how school was and made that a thing that you learned for 12 years, understanding your credit score, understanding, what to invest in, what's the interest rate, stuff like that. Like you saying, the financial literacy. I feel like if you can incorporate that through the school and we learn that as we growing up, because I don't remember geometry and shit. I still remember 2 plus 2.
Right.
And I know what a percentage is, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, but that shit sticks with you. They don't even write cursive no more. You know what I mean? Bring that shit back too. But but I feel like, yeah, I would put financial literacy as a class or something that we could do for the youth. Because I think that's why they so misguided. They don't know nothing. And then the person that was ahead of you and the person, your grandparents, whatever, they didn't know nothing. So that shit just keeps getting passed down debt.
I mean, it seems like such an easy answer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why do you think they haven't done that yet?
Cause they want their money.
Yeah,
They know.
but I mean, but specifically though, like if it seems like such an easy solution that we just put a financial literacy class in school for all 12 years that our kids are going to be in school, that seems so simple in my brain.
Yeah,
But there has to be something crazier out there. There has to be something that's driving that doesn't push our government to just come out and say, every school, just, give me a financial literacy class. Like that's easy. Why don't they do that?
I think it's rich. The rich stay rich and the poor stay poor, and that's just
You think
like
that's what it is?
I mean, I remember reading that shit in school from the books. You know what I mean? So I think that's how it is.
I mean, there has to be something like that, right?
It got to be because I don't understand why y'all don't want everybody to know about money. The society will be better.
That's the same. I
You
like
think?
even these online influencers all the time that try to hold everything, try to charge I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. Like anytime I have a chance to talk to a youth, like let's talk about I don't care what they ask me.
Yeah,
They could ask me like what song I like. I'm gonna find a way to turn it into something to do with financial literacy because I wish to God I would have had somebody in my life when I was 15, 16 that could have, told me how not to get my car repossessed, my house foreclosed on and all that
yeah.
shit, right?
Hell yeah, because you got to give them game, and I think that art of giving game or giving back to the youth or youth programs, that shit's all gone. It's like if you don't have clout and chains and showing you in a Lambo rich ass house, streaming or everywhere you go, somebody know you. And I don't even like even with them type of people. I feel like even if they help the youth, since the youth love them so much, teach them that shit. You know what I mean? Look
Yeah,
how
I've
much
always felt
money
it's
they
our duty.
making.
Like once you have success and you experience success, I think that's our duty. Like I think that's our requirement when we do that is to give back, to go back into the communities where we came from or communities that are around us and help the youth, man. Like it's at some point somebody has to be a generation cracker
Yeah,
to break the cycles and get people where they need to be financial literacy.
for real.
Every artist that I've ever met, any entrepreneur that I really sit down with has success. They've always had that season they go through where somebody told them they wasn't going to make it, or was the negative person in their life that tried to hold them down. Do you have one of those people in your life that stands out to you? And if you do, how'd you prove them wrong?
Uh, in a way, it's not towards them, but my mom and my dad, they have told me, and I always looked at them as my biggest supporters. And my dad had told me like, you need to stop. You need to do this. Fuck the rap shit. Da, 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 da. You know, you need to focus on that. Da, da, da. And then my mom like, maybe you just stop doing that. And I felt like that them telling me to stop doing it. I think that kind of like crushed me more than anything because I looked at them as always like, you always support. I'm like, oh, my mom always gonna support me. Oh, my parents, I think that kind of was that. But me doing it, getting on bigger stages and getting on bigger platforms, and they see me and they see I'm traveling and moving around, and I've been doing it for so long. I don't know. Maybe maybe they could be. I'm not really angry at them in a way,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I told you. Like I
You
hope you
feel
do.
like you proved them wrong now?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I proved a lot of people wrong for sure.
So what do you think the hardest thing, like what's the probably in your mind the most challenging thing that you've had to push through to get traction in the rap industry?
Um, l- See, it's hard for me because I've been independent for so long, and the game changes. So it go from the CDs to the streaming, and I was in both of those eras. So now everything's so everything's so different. You can't even come at it in an old way or a new way. So I feel like that's probably most challenging shit for me is trying to understand to keep up with this new way of how this shit is. Oh, now it's about content. Like
Yeah.
now they don't give a fuck about music videos no more.
Yeah, nobody's watching. Like, I asked my wife this the other day. I'm like, where did MTV, like, when was it when MTV stopped playing videos?
And you know, it's crazy. We was in a hotel and I played that shit, and I was talking to bruh, and he was like MTV. I'm like, yeah, they got some good ass cable. I'm like, I ain't seen no music videos in a long
Yeah.
ass time. But average person don't they don't watch TV.
I mean, even and I think back, the only date that stands out in my mind with like MTV music videos is when we had this September 11th attacks on New York City.
Okay.
I was still in school, and I remember
Yeah, I remember
I
that
was
shit.
getting up, to go to class, and I'm watching MTV music videos. Like, so I know at least in 2001,
Yep, 2001.
that they were still playing music videos.
I mean, I think the art of it is gone because the not knowing of the artist or the access to the artist is so easy to get to the artist now. Let me go on his Instagram. Yeah, I'm over here eating Cocoa Puffs at the beach.
Right.
You would had to read that in a magazine, even if they had that in a magazine. You know what I'm saying? And then even when you didn't know what the next song was, you ain't had access to get to the next song. So when they dropped it, it was like, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of that is gone.
Yeah. Everything's at our fingertips now, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that time was BET, VH1,
Hmm.
MTV. Like, it was all kinds of good stuff. And
Pop videos and shit. I remember
but
all
man,
that shit.
things change so often. And I
Yeah.
think you're right. That's even, even in my world, even in my businesses, that's the hardest thing is like staying up on all the policies, staying up on all the laws, like staying up on everything that's like new. And if you don't do it, things just pass you by and you end up getting yourself in a hole somewhere.
Yeah, because a lot of people like to stay in one way. And that shit, if you stuck in a 2006 way, it ain't gonna work in 2025.
But I follow a lot of individual artists that are independent. And when I see them like put a music video up and the art that goes into it, like, and doing podcasting and content myself, I know how much work goes into just setting up a scene and,
Yeah.
being able to edit it and all that. Like, it's tough, man. And I appreciate it when I see those that are out there.
Hell yeah. You could tell good music, you could tell how much thought it was put into it, and you appreciate it more. But I feel like that's an older way of, older people, like probably 30 and up, probably understand it. Anybody else probably wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Was there a time in your career where you thought, man, I'm done. I'm going to quit. Like, this is the moment I'm out.
Yep. Probably I think I dropped a mixtape and it didn't really do good, and I was kind of getting lost, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I went to New York. I was going back and forth to New York for like label meetings and stuff like that, but it really wasn't like the label meeting that I wanted. But it was still getting me to the A&Rs and stuff out there. But I ain't know what to do. I was lost. I was like, fuck, what the fuck? What should I do? What's my next move? Because I don't know what to do. Dropping the CD and, hoping that it does something and 7,000 people in a town, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like hoping that it blows me up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, them times was the time probably when I can't remember the fucking mixtape either. But I think it's around that time when I was just like, yeah, man, I'm done. Like I was getting to that point like I was done. And then I see people and they, around the city and they like, hey, I'm still banging that. I'm still, they talk about my old music. And I think that gives me the go. And then, even looking at my kids as they were young, watching them, and I'm just like, man, I gotta make this shit work. I just need to figure out what's my next, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I had to go back to the drawing board and go do my research. And then, it just came kind of easy after that.
What does Three Rivers mean to you today?
Um, it's my home. That's what made me. And I just want to prove and let people know from my area that we can actually do this. We actually can put, we can, it's not about making it. It's about, putting the city on and actually seeing some people grow out of it and bringing resources back to the city. But, Three Rivers for me today is, it's my home.
You feel like you carry a certain weight on your back being from Three Rivers and doing what you do?
A little bit. In a way I don't. I can go, I can move somewhere and say I'm from there. You know what I mean? But I choose to put my city on the map and let people know, like, look, because it's a kid probably in, wherever the fuck town and out here or anywhere. That's a small town just like mine. He probably got the same hopes and the same desires and the same people telling him that he can't do it. and he probably be the first one to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead of putting on the biggest city that's next to you, you put on that little town to show the next generation or the next kid or the next person that's even out there, maybe an older person, that it's possible that you can get it done.
Is there a time like that you can think of where like what's the most broke that you've been right before a show or a studio session?
Like broke,
Yeah,
like
like broke, like poor. Has there been any of those times where you're like,
shit.
man, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this studio set or
I think I think my first Kevin Gates show, me, my old lady, and my dog right here, Enrique. We went down there. We went spent our last, and they fucked me over in the hotel and everything out there. I was pissed, but we still went there, and it was one of my my first Kevin Gates show. We was at a big arena, had a room and shit. It was I didn't give a fuck. We was gonna make it back. We ain't had shit
right.
on the way back, but we was gonna fucking make it back. You know what I'm saying? So
Where was that show at?
that was in South Carolina, Charleston. We drove there for like 13
So if you're
hours.
down south, man, and you on a budget, you hitting up crystals?
I don't fuck with crystals. I went to the Waffle House, but
Do you guys have White Castles up in Michigan?
yep.
You like you White Castle
But
guy?
they don't have that shit where I'm at.
No?
This is McDonald's, Wendy's, regular shit.
Yeah, they've shut a lot of the White Castles from Columbus, Ohio. So we used to have a ton of them here in the Dayton area, but they started shutting those down like several years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tough to find them anymore. Has there been anything that you've had to do? Like, is there anything crazy that you've had to do that stands out to get studio time or to get on a stage somewhere?
I think I probably the most craziest shit I was doing, probably walking like 3 miles in Sturgis to go to like a fucking studio way out in the fucking country.
In Sturgis?
In Sturgis, Michigan. Yep, I stayed out there for a little while, and it was a dude. He was in high school with my brother, and he was the only studio I had. Cause only time I recorded is when Mars picked me up, and we did record with him in Chicago. So when I'm in, I'm trying to do my own thing. I'm still trying to work while I'm not around him, so I can come to him like, look at my, look what I got. You know what I mean? So I'm walking, and that probably had to be more than 3 miles. I don't fucking know. It probably was longer than 3 miles. But walking out there just for fucking 2 hours of studio time, $20. I think it was
Yeah,
like
man, that's
$10 an
crazy.
hour or some shit like that.
I think when I listened to some of your music and I did a lot of the last week knowing that you were going to come out, I think it has like a real raw Midwestern kind of vibe to it with like crazy commercial potential.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
kind of
perfect.
how I see your music, right? But if you had to describe Tra Riverz music or your sound in one sentence, what would it be?
The realest. Because I'm just going to give you me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be nobody else, and everything in the song is always something that's based on in my life. So I just say the realest. And I don't really like even saying that because you said in one sentence, and I probably wouldn't been able to do that. But I think it's just it's me. A lot of people sometimes they don't give you all of you, their real you in the music, and I feel like I give them me. I don't gotta do what's trending. Let me talk about what I like because there's somebody out there that like it. You know what I mean? They like
Yeah.
the same things as I like. You never know.
Music to me, man, I love music and I like all genres. I'm a big 90s hip hop guy. Like I love 90s hip hop. Like put that on, like we can go all night, right?
Hey, I'm with it.
And the one thing about music is like it moves everybody in, a different way. So 2 a.m., people are like throwing your music on in the car, they're at the club, it comes on. What's the feeling you want them to feel at that point?
In the club,
In the club, in the car, like when they're, whatever they're doing, like they put on like, oh, that's Trey.
yeah.
Like, what's that feeling you want them to feel?
If you were coming home from the club, I want you to be hyped, turned. So I really want your energy to feel good. I want you to ride and ride out like with it. Like I want you to have having a good time listening to the music. But if in a 2 a.m. riding home and you're probably not in an emotional mood, I want the feeling of the record, the feeling of my voice is when I'm expressing certain things in certain songs. Like I done seen people, get emotional listening to my music and feeling that. So I feel like the more emotional music for me is better for me. I think that's what I like out of the fans to get the more emotional. I want them to feel the pain. I want them to relate to my pain, or maybe they could, they went through the same type of shit. That's what I want. But even if you turning up, I want you to be lit to my shit. I want you to bang that shit and have a good time.
I mean, so it sounds like you have, something for everybody, right?
Yeah, yeah. I try to hit every angle.
Yeah. For me, I was a big Eminem guy, man. I look, I mean, trailer park, white kid,
Yeah, I love Eminem.
in poverty. I mean, that was my story. Trailer park, white kid, poverty. It's like I latched on to Eminem when he was, dropping all kinds of stuff, man. I just, his music was just a different vibe for me. But what I always thought about his music was like, there's so many different people that can get into his music. And it sounds like that's kind of what you've attempted to create with your music as well.
Yeah, I feel like my style is
Not that you look like Eminem.
no. I love Eminem. I feel like my style is more like 50 Cent, Tech N9ne, Boosie, Webby, kind of put together because of them, like and DMX. So it's kind of like I'm here and here and here. I'm kind of everywhere with it
Yeah.
because that's the sound that really that made my sound. I studied them, so I kind of make sure that my music it touches everybody and it hits different angles. Don't be scared to just stay one way. I want to make this one record and the next 7 records sound the same. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. So, on the come up, were those the people that influenced you, or was there somebody in your life that influenced you also? Who would you say was like kind of the biggest influence in your direction?
As far as music that was close to me?
Yeah, just in general.
Oh, okay. I'll say Mars from Chicago. He kind of like took me under like he gave me that shot and gave me that chance. And I'll be forever grateful for that because he took me to my first show, gave me my first piece of merch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gave me, something that I never thought was real. I felt like I'd never be able to get to that. And I was so young doing it at the time. So I felt like maybe that, was going to be my way of doing shit. Cause I'm like, yeah, this is, maybe this could be me. And then I was like, fuck it, nah, this is me. Like, this is what I'm going to do. So Mars was very influential. I hate that big ass word, but he was real influential in my life. But and I'd just say probably 50 Cent. I really study 50 Cent. I really read his books. I really, I like the way how he stays in business is different. The movies, like I want to do movies. Like I shot a movie off my iPhone, and it's decent. You know what I mean? I'm trying, I'm getting it, but I feel like them probably be two of the most influential people in my life that I really looked up to and really try to inspire to be.
Yeah. Is there anybody in your life right now you think? Because look, here's the truth: we're gonna get old, bro.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna have to shut it down.
Yeah.
Is there somebody in your life right now you're like, I'm gonna pass the torch on to them?
My kids.
Yeah.
That's it. Want to get them to understand the business so much. I know I'm probably hard on them all the time. They probably don't understand it. You know what I mean? But they'll get it later. But I want to give it to them. I don't want them to work for nobody. I want them to have their own businesses and have the financial literacy, the freedom. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that these kids can do now these days that generates money. That's what I would rather give them everything. I don't music, y'all can have the money. I don't care. This is just what I love. I want y'all to do something different. You know what I mean?
All right. So for you, if you look back, we talked about like who is the influencer. If you could erase one rapper from the game, any rapper, who would it be? They might not even be around, but like if you just like, man, you're done. Who would it be?
Fuck. That's a good ass question.
I know, that's why I asked it.
God damn. Because I feel like every artist that I listened to had a purpose at one time. Fuck. That's a good ass question.
We can't move on till you answer, man. That's the question right here. We gotta.
God damn, that's a good ass
We gotta
question,
get it,
man. Fuck.
I mean, you can be
JaRule.
JaRule?
I liked his singles, but
on.
I never listened. And I'm a big 50 Cent fan, but I listened to JaRule, and when I even listened back to it now, I'm like, this shit is garbage. Like, I ain't never thought this shit was good.
Man, I don't know. I like JaRule.
I mean, it's cool.
But out of all the artists that are out there, that's the one you picked? That was your political answer?
Yeah.
JaRule.
Because I don't really I know so much music, and it's like, damn, I don't even know, like, who would be yours?
If I had to race a rapper, man, the easy answer for me is R. Kelly.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because nobody's going to hate me online for saying that because he's in, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I can't do that. You going to do that to Kels?
No, I love R. Kelly, man. Shit, I think I probably had 2 of my 3 kids to R. Kelly.
Yeah, R. Kelly the shit.
Man, that was a song, man. I'm like, man, this party ain't going right. Or yeah, I used to DJ. I used to DJ at some clubs too in my younger days.
Okay.
The crazy thing was like I was a police officer, and at the same time as a police officer, I was DJing at like hip hop clubs. So you can imagine the conflicts that might come along with that. But anytime something got like a little, dead or whatever, I knew that I could bump on "My Mind's Telling Me No," and like everybody's gonna stop, right? And then as soon as you're done with that song, then you come
Yeah.
in with a banger, and like it's hot, it's
Yeah.
fucking hot again, man.
Somebody's out again.
I'm just saying that's how it
Nah,
went.
real shit.
So you've been on stage and you've partnered up with some big names, man. Like who's all the guys that are out there that you've done business with?
I did business with Boosie. And did a song with him called Heavyweight, one of like my biggest records, right? And we went down to Atlanta, met him. You know what I'm saying? It was like a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? I'm meeting my favorite artist and being at his crib and actually recording. He actually recording on my record. You know what I mean? I think that was probably like the shock for me in my career as far as for right now. And I met up with OG Booby Black. He's like a mentor in my life. Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? The Booby Boys, he put me a part of the team with him. And he just, showed me so much and, real and showed me so much love. And I think he's just more genuine and authentic than a lot of people that I have met in the music business or even how they move. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, a lot of people might get them wrong, but I understand them. You feel me? Like,
How was Lil Boosie's house? What was it like?
it was cool, man. I got that. I was like, this
Was it
motherfucker.
big?
It was big. It was nice. I
Like
ain't
mansion
really,
big?
yeah. I ain't really go through the whole thing. We went like right to the studio that's like kind of right here where like it's front.
Yeah.
But he had all his cars lined up and shit. And I was like, God damn. I was like, that shit was crazy. And when we pulled up, his son was kicking a 4-wheeler or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Tootie though. You know what I'm saying? But he was kicking the 4-wheeler. I'm like, what the fuck?
All right, so if I made you a criminal right now for the next 24 hours and I told you had to go to Lil Boosie's house and steal one of his cars, which one would you have stole?
Probably that old school he had in there. I can't remember. I don't know what car it was. I ain't really good with cars like that, but he had an old school with some like rims on that bitch. It was in the garage. That motherfucker was nasty. Cause I like old school cars. He had like, fuck, I think it was like a Rover he had or something. That bitch was bad too.
You know how I know you're never going to run for political office? Because you just answered that question, man. If that was me, I'd be like, well, sir, being that I'm not a criminal, I can't put my mind in that type of space, so I couldn't even give you a proper answer.
Nah, yeah, man.
But you're like, nah, man, I'd steal that fucking old kid. I would take that thing down.
Oh, we joning on here, yeah, but I don't know, man. I believe in bad karma, so I wouldn't really stole shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is there one line in any of your songs that you would, that you think fits you most perfect, right? Like, what's that one line that you've put in one of your songs? You're like, man, that's me.
I don't care who fuck with me. Real talk, I fuck with me.
What's the name of that track?
Self-efficient. I just dropped it today.
You dropped it today?
Yep, I dropped it today. I just was saying that to them. I forgot the song even came out this morning.
All right, so Tra Riverz, man, when you're not in the studio, you're not on stage, what's a regular day like in your life, man?
Being with my family, being with my kids and my old lady, just taking care of them, being around my niece, and now we got a little dog and stuff like that. So
What kind of dog you got?
that's a Shih Tzu.
You got a Shih Tzu?
Yeah.
You
Mochi.
this tough ass rapper and you got a Shih Tzu?
No, it's my old lady dog.
Aren't you supposed to have like a pit bull?
I ain't really
Fighting chickens?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I got attached to her, you know what I'm saying? But nah, that's real. Every day I'm a family man, you know. I feel like, get out here, go get the money, grind hard, and come back to the family and, spend time and eat and teach my boys and stuff and watch them grow up because it's so funny watching them going through puberty and shit now.
Man,
So,
that's hilarious. My boy's 13 right now, and it's just funny. Voice cracking. And like, I picked him up from the football game last night. He went to the high school football game. I was like, yo, man, was your girlfriend there? He's like, yeah. I said, you hold her hand? He's like, well, no, there's not really a place to hold hands, Dad. I said, did you kiss her? He's like, no, but I hugged her. And I'm thinking, man, and like, it's weird as a dad because I still think of him as like a 7-year-old, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I'm like, man, I know what I was doing at 13.
Man.
And should I give him a kick in his ass? Like, is he behind? Like, like maybe I need to help this cat out.
Yeah, because I be thinking about that too. I'm like, man, shit, I probably was exposed to too much shit because I
Yeah,
know what
for
type of
real.
time I was on. Freaky little motherfucker.
If you weren't making music right now, what would you be doing, man?
Uh, yeah, that's a great question. I really won't know what I would be doing.
No?
I really, I really wouldn't know what I would. I really dedicated my life to this, so I don't
So it
really.
has to work out.
Yeah, I really dedicated my life to this every day. I think about it. I wake up, write notes. I'm posting constant. I'm learning the new algorithms, taking, looking at new angles, trying to learn everything every day. So I think this, I probably would have something to do with music, but I really wouldn't see me doing them. Probably a regular person, probably working, going home, being, a shit life.
Yeah, I'm with you. I coach it in business all the time, and I tell everybody, I'm like, if you're somebody that needs a plan A, B, C, D, and E, you're never going to have the same grind that I had when I started my business, right? And same way that I'm hearing from you is like, I had a plan A, right?
Yeah.
Like that had to work out. There wasn't a fallback plan to go on there. And it sounds like you're kind of the same way with your music right now.
Hell yeah. I gotta make this work, you know what I mean? I got plan Bs, plan Cs, but I can still do those too while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, give me something juicy, man. What would your fans be shocked to know about you? That you've never told anybody.
That I love pizza. They make fun of me about this shit all the time.
You
but
love pizza?
I eat pizza like literally every fucking day.
What's your go-to?
Shit, it don't matter. I don't give no fuck. That motherfucker be a frozen pizza. I eat that motherfucker.
Well, what's the toppings? Like, what's the toppings? How you want your
Oh,
pizza?
just pepperoni sausage. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the, I don't go too wild with it.
Nah, I'm a simple pizza dude, man. Like,
Yeah.
I might be crazy and get like a Hawaiian with some ham and pineapples on and
See,
shit.
I can't fuck
But
with
man, you
that.
bring me mushrooms, I'm gonna vomit that thing
Yeah,
everywhere.
man, I'm picking them motherfuckers
It's the
up.
consistency with mushrooms.
I'm not a mushroom guy.
But why don't you like mushrooms?
I'm a real picky eater. They might not know that. I don't eat macaroni and cheese. I don't eat lasagna. I don't eat greens. I don't eat Thanksgiving is not my motherfucking day at all. So
You're not out frying a turkey?
Nah, man, I'm cool. I eat turkey. I probably eat turkey in a roll. That's probably about it. If it ain't pizza or chicken,
That's funny.
or some steak. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so talking about your kids, man, you have a boy with autism, don't you?
Yes, my youngest. Yeah, it's his name Juice. Well, his name Lavelle, but we call him Juicy. He was fat when he was younger and stuff. So yeah,
He was
he was fat. We called him Juicy. Now he's all tall on me now, skinny man.
yeah.
He my world though. I love him to death.
What do you think? Autism is, special to me, man, honestly, because of, one of my other businesses that we do with disabilities. What do you think the biggest misconception is that people have towards those with autism that they just get it wrong?
I think a lot of things because I done been around a couple autism kids and they act different. My son is more hyper in a way, and he talks a lot, but he's not gonna be that verbal. Which a lot of autism kids that I've been around, they're kind of like real quiet and don't really say nothing. He's more hyper, so I just think that they don't really know what type of stages of autism, probably like that. You know what I mean? Because people look at me crazy when I'm in the store with them, and I don't let them bother me. You know what I mean? But when if he does something out of turn, he might, jump around and might cut in front of somebody. I'm like, I'm sorry. He doesn't understand he's autistic. And they be like, oh, well, I got, a cousin or, a nephew or some shit. And then, but why the fuck was you looking at him like that then?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you understand what it is, but at the same time, it could be different. You know what I mean? Because I know I have seen different kids and how their autism is.
So has that presented any like unique challenges? Do you push in your career or your music or anything?
Yeah, it makes me real focused, and it makes me want to, make sure that I do provide a good life for him because it's challenging. You know what I mean? I got my two older boys, and they into what they into, and then I gotta, it's a totally different situation with him. So he's into what he's into. You know what I'm saying? So I have to develop a way of okay, it's Sonic today. We Sonicing it out. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't care. We doing everything turtle. You know what I mean? Like it's just figuring out, the challenges through it with him. I mean, I love it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't change it for the world.
You're on social media as we start talking about that. Social media is a wild place, man.
Yes.
Wild place. Like the comments, DMs, like nuts.
Yeah.
What what's the wildest DM you've gotten from somebody, man?
Um, I think I say the wildest comment I got was a motherfucker said, what they told me, they said, you're white, you can't say the N-word or some crazy shit like that. And I was lost because I was like, I had replied, and I don't know why that triggered me that time. I don't never reply to comments, but that triggered me, and I was like, motherfucker, get your facts straight before you say, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before you say some shit. But I think it's that, and they say I look like OJ the Juice Man and Doughboy Raw and shit like that. It be them comments that be having me laughing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they beat me up with some stuff too. But they're so the one that sent you that said you couldn't say it. Was it a white guy?
Yeah, it's always but
It's always the white
it's
dude that's trying to
always
call you
someone,
out.
and then it happened to me like 4 times on YouTube, and and I don't know why. It's always YouTube. I don't get it on nothing else,
Yeah.
and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? People think I'm Mexican, Puerto Rican, all type of shit. I'm black and white. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all know if y'all don't know.
Man, it's yeah, social media can be crazy, man. Now I'm different. I like to troll them. Leave a negative comment on me, like I'm gonna push back. And you watch them getting like so mad.
Yeah,
And like I'm like just laughing because I'm like, man, yeah, keep bumping that algorithm, keep hitting those clicks, bro. Like, leave the
man.
comments. But I can't let it go. I just troll them, man. I give it back to them.
I know I can't get in them stages, but sometimes I just be sitting there like, man, I can't be with these keyboard warriors, man.
They're funny though, but it's always we put out a video, one of our apartment complexes, where I was throwing a cage away in a dumpster. It was an animal cage. It wasn't even a cat cage. And I said, man, it's like we're running this cat zoo. I gotta get rid of them because we had hundreds of cats,
Yeah.
just all the neighborhood cats. Because tenants will put their cages out, they'll put water and the food out.
Feeding them.
They start feeding all the neighborhood
Yeah.
cats, right? And people are like, well, you should just let them stay at your property. No, like I'll let a couple of them,
Yeah.
but I don't want the whole neighborhood, right? But man, they beat me up because in one of our videos we said that they were scratching cars. Somebody's like, cats don't scratch cars. And that came from a follow-up video where I'm interviewing a dude that was out there. He's like, look at all these scratches on my car, Todd. These cats been sitting on it. They have claws. Of course
Yeah.
they can scratch a car. They went wild on that video. Like, matter of fact, from your front, there's a lady called the Michigan Cat Lady.
For real?
Man, she went all in on me. She's like, I'm sending this video to the FBI. Like, you're a
What the
horrible
fuck?
human being. You should die a long death. She was crazy,
these
bro.
people be crazy on the internet, which I don't be understanding why they let this shit get to them that bad. Because like you in a whole nother universe, the metaverse or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like real life, none of that shit is going on. Like
Yeah.
these motherfuckers, they overdo it sometimes. That's why I hate the internet, but I love it at the same time.
The one comment, and I get it a lot on my videos because we do a lot of the squatter videos and getting people out. And all my properties are in challenging neighborhoods. Like, it's where I grew up. It's where I
Yeah.
feel comfortable at. And always these white cats, like, man, you don't know, you gonna get shot, bro. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know anything about the streets, you little, golden spoon kid.
Yeah.
That's the only one that gets to me.
'Cause it-
Ever.
Cause it's not you.
I'm like, I'm from the streets, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's like that. I think that's the same situation when they say certain comments. I'm like, motherfucker, that's not even me. I think that's the stings a little bit because you like, motherfucker, like you trying to prove, but you ain't got to, because they ass don't even know you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They just talking shit from a keyboard. And this motherfucker got a cat as his motherfucking profile picture. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it was a cat as his profile picture. That's what it is. So when people look back at Tra Riverz, man, 20 years from now, what do you want them to remember about you?
that I went for what's mine. I never gave up on my goals. I stuck to them. I didn't let nobody get me off a different, I didn't care what nobody said. I went for my goals and I achieved them. And I was, a great artist. You know what I mean? I would say like that because 20 years from now, I just want people to know that I tried to do this shit. And I ain't, I didn't let life beat me down to the point where I'm just like, man, I make an excuse for everything. I just want to I never gave up, just staying consistent with my goal. And I feel like that's what I want for my kids to know. Like, stay on what you like. Even though I know I could be like my dad, because I know
Yeah.
I'm an asshole when it comes to them. And be like, what the fuck is that? Because I know,
sure.
I know I'm an asshole to them, and I know they'd be like, this motherfucker. But yeah, I just want them to know that shit. Go for yours. You know what I'm saying? He went for his, and he made it happen.
Yeah. So you're back in Three Rivers and you got a young cat sitting in front of you, no money, struggling, no hope. Like, what would you say to them in that moment?
and talk to God and think positive thoughts and manifest, and then get up and actually go. Because talking and is different than the action. So the best way if you homeless, try to figure out your best way of what you can do. Doesn't matter if it's getting pop cans and you got to stack up, 10 cent by 10 cent, or if you got to get $5 and go get some cheap ass socks and you out here selling socks. Find any hustle that you can do and stack your money and make the right decisions. But talk to God and manifest your life right. You know what I mean? And if you stay at it, stay on your goal because you ain't got shit. So you might, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you stay at it, you know what I'm saying, you would probably, you can make it out of the situation because you most definitely
What
can.
do you think the biggest sacrifice has been for you, man, chasing your dream?
Probably sacrificing my friends, moving around with certain people.
Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people, man. And I think you figure out quickly as you start having a little bit of success at times,
Yeah,
or you want to get to a different place. Man, you got to cut people out of your life.
I got to. I learned that I don't got to deal with your shit. And I don't got to put up with your shit. And at the same time, my life isn't revolved around your shit. If we're not on the same type of, wave, then we don't need to be around each other. And a lot of times it's not even a hate thing. It's just like we're not on the same type of vibe. So probably sacrificing, not having letting, kind of letting them do, when you get your friends and shit, they can fuck up shit for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I love it when somebody pops in one of my social media feeds and is like, hey, I'm glad to see you're doing so well because they see I'm popping off now, right?
Yeah.
And I always just want to say back, man, I've been doing this shit for the last 13 years. Where you been?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk to me when I was
When I was fucked
when I
up.
was starting up, when I didn't know where I was going to pay my bills from. You don't want to talk to me. But
Yeah.
now you see me, whatever, release of, oh, I'm glad you're doing well. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be a fan club.
Yep. You just trying to, get in wherever you could fit in at. And I see a lot of people try to do that with me. And I know who real in my life, and they know I love them, and I fuck with them. But other people is just, I see it now.
Yeah.
And I'm so with being normal. I'm not like with that celebrity shit, how people be treating me sometimes. I'm not with that shit. But I could see it. It's weird to me because it's like, what the fuck? Like, I know you. Now you all acting all weird because I got this going on, but this is all you really wanted for. You
Right.
don't get no fuck how much money I spent into this or how much fucking hours I had to get to this, to do this, to make the cover up. Like they don't give a fuck. It's when it's hot, let me be around you. You know what I'm saying? Let me kick it with you
That's
now.
how it always is. I mean, there's so many people, like so many fake ass people that pop in and out of our lives when you start, doing some good shit.
Yeah.
That's probably the challenge, man. Sometimes like, who do you cut out? Who do you let in? I've struggled with that a lot, man, because I had to cut family members out, friends, and
For sure.
a lot of other people when I wanted to, start thriving in my business. That's always the challenge because it's tough, right? Like
Yeah.
we still care about people.
Yeah, because you want that whatever that you trying to do, whatever you're doing in life, but you want them to be a part of that because you want to have the same yes and yes, but jealousy, entitlement, all that type of shit comes up.
Yeah. If you lost everything tomorrow, man, what's the one thing that you got that nobody can ever take away from you?
I say my voice and my brain,
Yeah.
cause I'm gonna think of some shit, and I ain't scared to open my mouth. No Diddy. You feel me?
You can't say that anymore. He's free.
For these YNs out here, man.
Yeah.
I know my kids will get on my ass if they
They funny about that stuff, man. They funny about that. Like it's a generational thing.
I know, man. They got me with that, man. Because I don't be thinking like that. I be, I'm grown as hell. Like, I understand. But I know they going to get on my ass at home.
Yeah. What do you have coming up, man? You got any tours? You got any performance dates or anything big on social media or anything dropping? Or what do you want people to know about you right now? Like, where do they go right now to grab your stuff?
Follow me at everything, Tra Riverz with a Z. So every Tra Tra Riverz. That's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anything that you need to get, But right now, I'm just releasing singles, building more of a fan base. I'm working on a movie, working on another like a little short film. I've been kind of getting into these little short film things. I dropped a CD called album. I dropped the album called I Never Gave Up, and I dropped a short film with it. So I'm more of in trying to get into those type of things now, and really just staying focused and on grabbing my fan base and working on my new project, Cash is Trade too. So, but that probably be next year.
Yeah. Where's the easiest place for people to go buy your music?
iTunes, Amazon, all the streaming platforms, basically.
Yeah.
I'm on all the platforms. I gotta get my website back up, so that's on me. But yeah, that's where I would have sent them to.
Yeah. So yeah, anything more. Amazon, iTunes, all the good stuff, man. They can
go,
find you on there.
Go support, pre-save, go stream, buy it on iTunes, man. Go. I don't care, you know what I mean? I just want y'all to support it.
All right, finish the sentence for me. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Tra Riverz is
The greatest.
he can. Man, that was one of my videos the other day. He can be the greatest. You can be the best. You can be the King Kong beating you. And you know what I did in the in the video? I said the wrong. That's a script, right? But I was just being funny, calling it R. Kelly because I knew she wouldn't know what she was doing. But he's like, man, that ain't the right artist. I'm like, just post the video, bro. Like nobody. Only one person called me out on that.
You know these motherfuckers don't let nothing breathe, man.
All right, Trey. Hey, man, we appreciate you driving down, man, and spend some time with us, bro. We wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I love the platform. Maxed Out Podcast, we here.
Yeah.
Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong.